Oh, howdy, howdy, howdy. Good grief. Day 1299. What it do? Tuesday. And it's a bit chilly today, man. Flipping hell, the temperature definitely dropped. I think it was even raining today. Maybe more than 1 point, I think. Which is not good. Yellow teeth, man. I need to whiten these up, mate. Yeah, work was busy. We had someone who was kicking off big time. Now, I didn't actually get to view it. I only kind of heard about it and kind of witnessed a bit of the aftermath, which is people talking about it, essentially. But this person was going in on one, particularly one of my colleagues, female as well. And yeah, they were going hammer. And at one point, I think there was like 10 security guards who were surrounding them, and they were saying that they'd punch up the security guards, which, yeah, I'm sure that would have ended well. So yeah, they all kicked off, but I think eventually they did get escorted off. I think the police had to come, I believe. Yeah, crazy times, but this is what happens, man. Summertime, peak period, busy, 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 people getting stressed out. And also, as I suspect, I didn't see this person with my own eyes, but from what I heard, it does sound like they had mental health issues. I mean, flying off the handle like that, cussing, screaming, like something's going on. It may not be mental health issues. They could have just, been having a really bad day. But that does seem a bit OTT. I know we can all boil over or have the capability to all boil over. But yeah, from what I was hearing, that was too much, man. And yeah, we deal with a bag of people who have all manner of mental health issues. So I wouldn't be surprised if he did. But yeah, that was an interesting highlight of the day. But yeah, just generally quite busy, man. Nothing much more to write home about with regards to work. Two things. So one, the crypto market, things are looking nice. Things are on the increase. A bunch of my coins aren't doing a great deal, but then I'm in these flipping low cap altcoins, so it's almost like a lucky dip of which one's going to start moving. But I do have, I think, a couple. One in particular, Pengu. Pengu's making moves, mate. Shouts out to Pengu. We like it. It's at like 4 cents and a bit. I want it to 10x. That would be beautiful. That would be delicious. But yeah, we'll see. That one I bought into the other day, I don't know if I mentioned this, Moon Doge. It seems to be a coin. I don't know if it was launched on Moonshot. Moonshot, the big Moonshot was, I think, the platform where, I mean, it was available elsewhere, but Moonshot was one of the platforms that really pushed the Trump token, and I think it allowed people to buy the Trump token just by using their debit card, I believe. I'm sure it's Moonshot. Yeah. But yeah, I think Moon Doge, I think it may have been launched on Moonshot, but either way, there seems to be some kind of connection with the token Moon Doge and Moonshot, the platform. And I think they've been making comments on their Twitter and I think on Moon Doge's Twitter. There's some type of connection there. So, and also I'm seeing one, I'm sure there's a bunch of them, but one particular crypto influencer by the name of Shmoo, who's made some very, very good calls and some not so good calls, but some very, very good ones over the past couple or few years even. He's been talking about it a lot. And if he's talking about something, I generally like to pay attention to it. I put money in it the other day. Again, I don't think I mentioned this. It was some money that I had sitting over, which was old money that was in like a liquidity position, and then it fell out of position and the money was just sitting there. It was about 900 and a bit dollars that I decided to just ape into Moon Doge. I thought, let's still like old times, man. Let's just ape into something. Why not? Just picture it like a game. If the money evaporates, it evaporates. If something happens with it in terms of it going like that, then fantastic. It's obviously dropped off at the moment, so my 900 is, when I last checked, turned into about 500 and something. It's not great, but it is what it is, man. It is what it is. It's all just toy money. That's all it is. It's numbers on a screen. And to be honest, I don't, and I think for me, I think it's the best way to think about it, because that way, if I lose it, I'm not completely heartbroken. I think for me, it will only start to kind of become more real when the figures become larger. That would only be part of it. But I think when I actually start moving the money out of the crypto ecosystem into systems that to me are far more tangible and just generally real, because crypto, it very much just, I just view it as like a game. Of course, I do get stressed about it, and I do get upset if I lose money, but I think being quite detached from it, almost like how bloody psychopaths are from emotions. I'm not full blown that way, although that would be a good way to be, to a degree, not fully, but I'm talking about crypto, not being a psychopath. But the analogy, I hope you get. I think it is good to be detached, because then, if you end up losing stuff, it just doesn't cause that much stress and pain. But I do think I probably need to be a bit smarter and more consistent with when and where I'm putting money in places, because I think I still do get caught up in this whole, let me just ape a whole bunch of money into this madly low cap coin, and just hope it does something. And it definitely does something, but usually it does that, But yeah, yes, I think I need to be a bit smarter, because what I okay, so for example, when I was in my liquidity positions and I was making money, like more money than I've ever made, well, more money than I've ever, would I say more money than I've ever made? Actually, yeah, more money than I've ever made, like consistently, even though it was a very short period of time. It was like about 7 or 8 grand, and I had it in a liquidity position. It's about 8 grand, actually, yeah, about 8. And I was raking in it fluctuated. It was between $100 to $300 a day. So, yeah, which was just mine. No, I don't earn a great deal of money up at my workplace. And when I say the most amount of money that I've ever made, was it actually the most? So I'm having to question myself now. Maybe if we just say the most amount of money with the most amount of ease, let's say it like that, because I don't want to make a claim. It's the most amount of money I've ever made. These times I'm making more money at my day job. But yeah, I don't know, because it fluctuated wildly, like $100 to $300 a day, because it was this beautiful liquidity position, and just seeing the money rack up. Like I had about $200 in ETH, and over, I can't remember, maybe it was a week and a half, maybe two at the most, I got up to over $1,000 in ETH. And I didn't even manage the liquidity position. I had it manage itself, because on the platform you were able to do a automatic rebalancing thing. So if it fell out of range, you could tick a box so that it would automatically move to the new range. And just seeing this money come in, I was like, flipping hell. That to me, I already know and knew the potential of crypto. I probably sound like a madman, don't I? I'm just thoughts all over the place and probably not speaking correctly. But anywho, try and keep with me, yeah? Try and stay with me. Just seeing this money rack up, I was like, right, this is the potential of crypto. And all it takes is for one to just have a bit of a bigger bankroll, and then you don't even need to be as what's the word, you don't even need to be as risky, you know. I could have taken a much more conservative pool and, you know, gone for a you know, percentage that is far lower, one that would give me anywhere from 5 to 10% a month. And if I have a big enough bankroll, that's a lot of money, you know. Like if I'm dealing with, if I've got 100k, like for me, this is why 100k is the magic number. Obviously, I want to be earning way more than 100k, but obviously I'm nowhere near that at the moment. But that to me is a magic number, because I truly believe, no, I know, I don't even believe, I know, if I can get 100k, I can get into a pool that gives me between 5 and 10% a month. That would be from 5 grand to 10 grand a month from 100k. I don't know where else you can do that unless you're committing crime. You know, I'm sure there are other places that are not criminally involved. However, crime would probably be the best place to do that. But this is what I'm saying, man. There's so much potential in crypto to be making a very large chunk of money from a not so large chunk of initial money. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it's just wild, man. Wild stuff. So let me get to 100k, bro, please. So I can just start taking care of business. Like, there's holidays I need to go on. There's restaurants I need to go to. There's, obviously, this is later stuff, but more importantly, I probably should have said these things first. There's things that I need to take care of in the house, bills that need to be paid, debts that need to be cleared, people that need to be helped out, and all of that, you know. That's the plan. That's the plan. And I believe it will come. I feel like I'm actually really getting close. Like, I really do feel like I'm getting close, but let's just see in it, because life loves to throw curveballs in it. I really don't want it to be some mad, which has kind of been in my mind of, you know, I get to that point, but then something happens to me health-wise, and I end up as like a paraplegic. They can't even talk, can they? Oh, yes, they can. No, it's no movement below the neck, I think. Or I have a flipping stroke, or I just die. Can you imagine? 100k, fantastic. Imagine. No, thank you. I'm good. I want to be in full health. And, you know, even things like going for these, like, full body MOTs. Once I have the money, I want to be able to do that. Bloody, before I even start making that money, even, yeah, just buy, like, a nice water filter. All of this stuff. But I think once I get the money, then I don't have to be worrying and stressing about me not being able to do this, or having to choose between one or the other, you know? I want to just be able to get it all done. But like I said, I feel I'm getting closer. I feel I'm getting closer. It's getting there. But let's watch this space. I went off on one mad tangent. Kind of connected to that, I had a word with Mr. Middleman today. He actually called me, which he doesn't normally do. Normally I normally have to message him and then he messages me. But yeah, he dropped me a phone call and we talked for a while about some other stuff, like just general kind of catching up. And he was kind of filling me in on certain things, which, boy, he's a very clued up individual, you know, very, very clued up individual in the finance world. But yeah, so what he told me is that he said that there is potentially, well, there is going to be an extra amount of money that it's an interest that has been accumulated over the time with regards to the funds that I gave him that he invested with in this bastard company, huge company as well, very big company. Yeah. Anyway, I'll go into some more of the finer details later, possibly. But and when I say later, I mean another video, not now. This is already 14 minutes. I've been doing longer videos as well, man. Woo, go me. But yeah, he basically said, so there's going to be more money than I was anticipating that will be coming my way. In my mind, I'm just thinking of the base rate level. Anything else is a bonus. Like, I already knew I thought I knew what I was owed. Apparently, it's going to be more, but I'm not even thinking about that limit. I'm just going to think about the original amount of funds. And I think apparently the person who's supposed to sign it off, they're not in the office, they're away. And I think apparently it's supposed to be signed off the first week of August. And then after that, he said apparently, again, because things to do with banks and big companies and court, financial matters, they can take, I would say a year and a day, but it's genuinely been more than a year and a day. It's been years. We'll just say a millennia. And apparently there are loads of cases that take way longer than what I've been having to deal with. But yeah, he said from when it's been signed off, you count your 10 business days, apparently. I think he said, did he say 10 days or 10 business days? It's probably 10 business, yeah, it must be 10 business days. So, which I don't know what that would take me up to, maybe probably end of August. Well, let's just say end of August. But apparently that should be that. Part of me is getting really excited, but I don't want to read too much into it because we've been here so many times and things have cropped up and things just keep on cropping up and things keep on getting delayed and this keeps on happening and that keeps on happening. But sounds positive. I'm not going to read too much into it. Let's just see what happens. I'm going to touch base with him first week in August just to see if that's been done, and then because I don't want this money to drop when the crypto market is at its all-time high and then it's just only down from there. I want to be able to get in because best believe the money's more than likely getting into crypto. I don't want it, I should say I want it to drop when things are still on their way up. I still want there to be a lot more room for appreciation. But then again, if I'm doing liquidity providing, I guess it doesn't matter too much, just so long as, there's a lot of, not movement, a lot of activity, because if people are buying it, I guess this is the thing about liquidity providing. If the market's flat, you can make money. If the market's tanking, you can make money. If the market's moving upwards, you can make money. I just need there to be activity, really. But yeah, I don't want the crypto market to look like a wasteland by the time the money drops, which hopefully it won't. But again, Trump, you never know what he's going to do. Flipping madman. But yeah, so that was an interesting convo. So we shall see. Watch this space. But anyways, this is a very long video. I'm going to end it here because I need to shower because I smell. So it's day 1299. I'll catch you tomorrow for day 1300. Wow.